Welcome, everybody. This is my target, IV87-ES23. And I have a video we're not going to have each viewer go through their data because it's all incorporated in the presentation. So we can talk about it after. I'll just play the video and then we can react to it. Things are getting very tense in the U.S. political landscape. Are we heading for a collision? Could we see actual unrest in the near future? Could there be confrontations that escalate between the two political parties? Are things about to erupt into something very unpleasant? Hi, I'm Dick Allgaier of Future Forecasting Group. We use remote viewing to predict upcoming events. We are in times of great change, and recently our remote viewers at Future Forecasting Group have been immersed in looking at current events and big changes that are just over the horizon. And I wanted to see if things are going to reach a boiling point soon between the two political factions in the U.S. I wanted to see if we're going to witness unrest and even something more troubling. So I decided to have the remote viewers work this as a target of interest. This is the target ID, IV87-ES23. That code was randomly generated by a random numbered letter generator. The target is civil unrest, physical fighting between political parties, United States, near future. Now there's a wrinkle to this. I wanted to get data about the escalating political tension without exposing the viewers directly to that. Why is that? Because viewers who watch the news are expecting this, and if they start gathering data of this nature, they can amplify it. I also wanted to task this in a way that would shield the viewers from actually witnessing troubling images and get the data without any of their expectations, their bias, or analytical thoughts corrupting the data. I decided to employ a mask and use entrainment to get the answers. Now, a mask can allow viewers to identify and collect indicators from the mask in a sterile way that will provide data about the real target of interest without the viewers being exposed to the actual target. Now, I designed my first remote viewing mask in 2005. In 2008, I used masking and entrainment to successfully predict the 2008 stock market crash and financial meltdown. This is the target IV87-ES23. Civil unrest, outbreak of physical fighting between political parties, United States, near future. This is the tasking document for the mask. The viewer will perceive Fauner Stone's solstice ceremony, Fauner Woods, Terrapin, June 21, 2025. And these are the conditions. If there is civil war, unrest, political violence between parties in the United States in the near future, then the viewer will perceive a bright sunrise with beams of sunlight coming from the northeast horizon through Fauner Pass. If the U.S. is peaceful in the near future, the sunrise will be obscured by clouds and rain. No one will see the sunrise. The stone monuments will appear dull and static. There will be wind. The site will be quiet with only a very few people present. The birds will remain caged. Those people will be intense, sheltered from wind and rain. The mood of the few people there will be disappointed and somber. Target IV87-ES23. This target is masked. The viewers worked under double-blind protocol. They were not told this was a mask. Here's the chain of custody document. The chain of custody was kept by Brian Bodu of the Looking Glass Working Group organization. He was blind to the target. He recorded and documented the chain of custody. He has all the emails. Any communication that occurred between anyone on this target was documented by him, and we have those documents. This is the mask. Viewers will observe the 2025 solstice at Fauner Stones. What happens in the mask? Variables in the mask are entangled to conditions at the target. And now to the data. Did viewers identify the prominent features of the mask? That's the first thing we're looking at. And we see Brian's sketch as compared to the mask image. You see the pathway, you see the circular alignment of the standing stones, and his representation of the forest. This is data from Carrie. She drew the forest, she drew the pathway, and she drew the vertical structures. More from Carrie. She drew the fauna forest as you compare her sketch to the view of the mask looking to the east. This is from Evan K., where he had the land gestalt, the pathway gestalt, and identified the forest. This is from Cavan, a very good remote viewer that resides in India. And if you look at the image of the mask on the right and what he drew, the mountains with the pass, the people, and the standing stones. Here we have this image from Daz Smith. He drew the stone structures. Again, Cavan draws the stones with the circular, semicircle orientation. This work is from Derek, constructed like Roman columns, rock, stone, granite, or marble. He had them at the lower left there in a certain orientation. Constructed stone, granite, multiple structures. Structure with rolling hills in the background. All right, which condition did the viewers see at the target, okay? Condition 2, if the sun rises, if the sun reflects, if the people hold mirrors, if birds are released from cages, if men beat on gongs, if there's a celebration and people are outside of their tents. Let's see what the viewers perceived. Carrie draws this. Evan K. draws the sun. Naeem, this is what Edward Reardon saw. He thought it was Stonehenge, but amazing work from Edward Reardon. He had the sun exactly aligned between two of the pillars. Amazing work right there. The mask image of the gong, and that's what Brian drew. That is not a coincidence. That's pretty amazing right there. Good job, Brian. What I see in the data is a lot of data validating condition 2. Brilliant sunrise, the sun reflecting off the mirrored surfaces, people holding mirrors aloft, the birds flying, a man beating the gong, a festival and a celebration, people outside their tents. So the actual target, civil unrest, outbreak of physical fighting between political parties, United States, near future. My conclusion, based on the work from the 21 remote viewers, the data that surfaced in the Faunerstone's mask indicates a strong possibility of escalating unrest that will boil over into actual conflict between the political parties in the near future. I hope I'm wrong. We're not advocating for this. We hope it doesn't happen, but we'll be watching. Okay, so that was an interesting experiment.
Wow.
Weirdly, I don't think I got much data, but I just couldn't get away from hovering over, and it's clear now. I've seen my sketch of I drew a sketch of the dogleg of the UK, where Stonehenge is.
Oh, that's what that was.
What is that? What's a dog?
As I was drawing it, I was thinking.
I think it's. I mean, if the intention behind the tasking was, oh, let me just see if I can trick these guys with a mask, then I'd be pissed about it. But given what we're looking at, the seriousness of what we're looking at, and like you say, we're a little overly saturated with current events already as remote viewers. I think it was designed in a very, very good way, and quite a brilliant way. Better than an ARV thing, because this was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well,
it allows for like more specific
Yeah.
kinds of variables, like, birds, like all the birds and just weird things like that. Like that makes it
Yeah.
well,
like Edward, you drew
birds.
the sun coming right up through the thing, and that was the main variable. Is the sun going to be obscured? And
well, the meaning of that though is pretty daunting, because what it means per your tasking is that means there's going to be civil unrest in the United States after the election.